developments that has created, identities in a socio-historical space. And thinkers like, Weber, Marx, Durkheim, they all talked about the characteristics of capitalism, rationalization, industrialism, and traditional societies, started becoming, industrial societies. Louis Wirth is a thinker who talks about the decline of, communitarian bonds and the disembedding of temporal with the spatial, local with the global. So it created a kind of risk to society, what Ulrich Beck talks about, the concept of risk society, manufacturing of the risk and risk being distributed all over the society. So you can, in modern identity period, had institutional mechanisms which became very prevalent, and accumulation of accumulation of wealth was rationalized through the processes of rationalization. And I think that you have to understand that this industrialization and modernity was a double-edged force, which it led to liberation of humanity from the traditional co- system. But on the other hand, it also produced a oppression that is called iron cage. So the public sphere became a sphere of domination, which is being talked about. Habermas. Habermas talks about the rationality, purposive, that we exchange something for the interest of each other, and communicative reality. What communication is taking place that makes us media-mediated citizens. So the results of communicative action can colonize our life worlds, how we think, how we give our priorities, and you can see the celebration of and commercialization and commodification of culture, where you can see the concept of uh, the commodification of celebration like Christmas functions, Halloween, Valentine, becoming commercialized, and dominant culture eating the culture of the underprivileged. This is what is being talked by Bell Hooks, which is a very famous feminist, and she has written a lot about the, racial kind of domination. So commodification of love is also taking place. The important dimensions that you can see the difference of traditional society to the modern society to the information society is spatio-temporal separation, obscuring the origins and relations. We are enjoying, oh, I am very popular, but what is the authenticity? I don't know. So commodity to be separated physically and morally from the producer of it. And you can, Harvey also talks about there is something inherently anti-ecological about the processes of commodification. And you can see that the concept of domino effect, that it is not one set of conditions. So anything and everything which is very, natural in its origin, unique in its origin, folk histories, they were getting extinct. And there are, risk and trust, that trust is being, replaced by the risk in the society. And Beck distinguishes because of two stages of modernization, the transformation of agrarian to industrial, and reflexive modernization stages. So what are the consequences that we can understand is in this context of cyber ecosystems and alienation, the main theme that I should not deviate much. So is that information society is basic unit of economic organization, and Castells is very important thinker of this information state. Castells argues that contemporary society is characterized by opposition between the abstract universals and the self. Francis Bacon, he himself said that science as a tool for transformation has become a tool for hegemony. So you can see that there are, strategies that people try to affirm their identities, and which source of forms, and they struggle. Who I am, what are my priorities, what is my, career, what is my life, what is my philosophy. Everything is being supplied to you, but you don't realize that how it is coming to you. So the main split in this idea of transition from current state of information revolution is computer is everything is else is inherent. Smartphone, social media, algorithms, AI is a byproduct of this broad umbrella called computer mediated communication. Computer is a machine that can potentially do two remarkable things. It can make decisions by itself and it can create new ideas by itself. This is the danger point for all kind of social scientists that we are here gathered. The rise of intelligent machines that can make decisions and create ideas meant power shifting from humans towards something else. A paradigmatic case of novel power of computers is the role of that social media algorithms may play in spreading hatred or compassion. Whatever it wants, it can do. Social cohesion or social disharmony, it is all can be done with the use of algorithms. Suppose we are sitting here and suitable use of social media algorithms can create social unrest without having any authentic reality of it. Social media algorithms are fundamentally different from printing presses. Please note it down and radio sets. So in Nazi Germany that you have to listen to what it was being said. No, it is different. Facebook algorithms can make active and faithful decisions by themselves. Algorithms may recommend any kind of behavior in you, like 24/7, every time you are stuck to your mobile. User engagement increases and Facebook collects more data and sells more advertisement. User engagement increases more by hate-filled conspiracy than by a sermon on compassion. So by trial and error, algorithms learn that hatred creates engagement. So machine is learning what is giving me good thing, compassion is not. This algorithm-based ethnic cleansing of Rohingyas from Burma, or by it can be done by non-human intelligence. So hacking the operation system of human civilization is at stake. This is what I have come to talk about. And what we were talking in Marxist concept of alienation and what it is happening, now the humans will operate systems that data links of computers may generate false story and post it on social media feed, and it may identify false news and warn other computers to block it. Another computer may deduce that this indicates beginning of a political crisis and sell risky stocks. And other computers monitoring financial transactions may react by selling more stocks, triggering a financial downturn. All this could happen within seconds before any human can notice and decipher what all these computers are doing. So the next war will not be fought on the basis of, arms and arsenals. This will be a data war. So why we should try to understand the difference between computers and previous technologies, that computers are full-fledged members of information network. They don't require us. Computers can connect in unlimited numbers and they understand financial and legal realities better than many humans. So if you have a chartered accountant, I think this computer mediated mechanism, where is the problem? How we are getting alienated? So you can see that we are under the trap of its own creation. So human beings created this, but they are not fully in control of it. We all have mobile phones, but are we legal owners or are we, psychological owners? This is a question that I leave it to the young guys and girls who are here. When RBI raises interest rates, how it affects our EMI, it can be very much accurately, calculated by the computers than by the accountant in the college or any other places. Computers are bureaucratic natives and can draft laws, monitor legal violations, and by the 2020s, computer-related data has demonstrated a remarkable ability to analyze. Analyze is okay, but what is the danger point that we feel alienated to have? Manipulate, generate language, whether with words, images or code. So you are, transforming from a realistic state to a state of simulacra, what Baudrillard talks about. So you are transforming that you are, responding your teachers. You are responding to the reality. But sometimes reality is masked. And sometimes there is no reality, still you are responding. So this is the stage that is very dangerous, and that is what can make us more alienated from the any center of gravity. By gaining command of language, computer are seizing the master key, unlocking the doors of all our institutions from bank to temples. अभी भी कुंभ मेला में कितने लोग गए नहीं गए, सबका पूरा पूरा डेटा हमारे पास है. What it would mean for humans to live in a world where catchy melodies, scientific theories, political manifestos, and even religious myths are shaped by non-human alien intelligence, which is well adapted to exploit human capabilities and dependencies and weaknesses. They know us better than us. So democratic forms of government relies on norms and conventions used by language. By hacking language, computer can distort large number of people to engage in different type of conversations. BOTS, can identify our tendencies and sway our arguments. So what we are engaging in conversations, it may be mediated, which we are not aware of. Digital entities have enormous implications for social, political, and financial world. The principle that customer is always right, voters are always right, I think is not true in today's cyber ecosystem. And and it is outdated concept. Technological giants can redirect people's emotional systems and mold our interest and choice of votes and customers. So how you behave, it can be molded very well. People's interaction online through various platforms like Google, एक कौन है ये TikTok, ByteDance, parent company TikTok, harvest personal information to target them through advertisement. Aadhaar card, you give all information, but whether this information will be used only for Aadhaar card or for insurance agents or for any anti-national activity, we don't know. So a person or a corporation with little money in the bank, but a huge data bank of information could be the wealthiest or most powerful entity in the society. Computers are making decisions, creating ideas, taking the shape of new humans. Data is needed for welfare or destructive purposes, we don't know. We can create mobile phones, but we cannot pontificate on the moral side of it, whether it will be used for good purposes or bad purposes, nuclear energy for medical purpose, or annihilating the opponents which are not like, we don't know. So algorithms far surpass humans in their ability to spot patterns. Pattern recognition is very important, but most of the people who are still engaged with the traditional pedagogy method, they think that my students are happy, but they have to grapple with the reality that it is very fast changing and material reflections in it. So manufacturing of consent, Noam Chomsky, now manufacturing of consent through algorithms, and it can also help officials to discern the data from health, illness, weather prediction, whatever. These digital bureaucrats function 24/7 and can monitor us and interact with us anywhere, anytime. This ultimately indicates that digital surveillance works is making us, alienated from our rest of the system. And each action leaves a trace of data which can help us gather and analyze patterns. Human agents are barely capable to analyze under the skin. Please note data, whereas digital tools can notice patterns of eye movement, directions of our gaze. A digital mapping can help experts early detection of drug abuse and mental illness and crime and so on and so forth. So biometric technology of Neuralink can identify our personality traits, sexual orientation, political views more accurately than our counseling and political psychologists can. AI-based surveillance are relentlessly being used for monitoring classrooms, to borders, to places of worship, and our households, apartments, and you can see everywhere. It regularly watch us in our rooms, bedrooms, by our smartphones, our online activities like message for friends, reading books, booking taxis. From a database to identity activity, suspicious patterns, or political dissent, it can all be noticed. How many people are supporting you? What is the problem? So there is lot of interference in our day-to-day society. It is intruding into our privacy. The macro-beach concept of bedroom culture. It is intruding our day-to-day life activity. It is colonizing our life worlds, and facial recognition patterns, algorithms, and AI searchable database are routinely being used to police forces all over the world. So employees in the office, corporation monitoring customers, bad drivers, good drivers, hotels, restaurants, ratings, peer-to-peer surveillance, it is all creating a paradox of existence, that what to be, what not to be. Social credit system, reputation markets varies from money market. Money is a mathematical construct where sphere of a reputation is resistance to numerical evaluation. So you can understand that which college, which career, which course, which theory becomes very prominent, you cannot know with how it is being mediated. And every time a powerful new technology emerges, there are anxieties that may be utopian in nature. So I'm not wanting to be utopian or dystopian, but you have to be pragmatic. And if you want to be pragmatic, then you have to bring some rational thinking in it. So industrial revolution brought some dark side, but it has also some good things that we all are enjoying. But you have to see the net outcome. If you see, then there is impact on technology. So we are getting separated. The time zone and space are be getting separated. We start disliking ourselves, our body image identity, who we are, how should we look like. So this is also creating a kind of dependence of validation, and they are changing their colors. That what becomes important, you don't know. So you see the change of yes, 2 minute. हाँ ठीक है, बताओगे तब ना यार, घर ही भी नहीं है सामने, पता नहीं चलता. So what I am trying to tell you is that despite the limitations, you have we can try to control that. Public opinion is easily being manipulated with relentless use of network. Principles of benevolence is compromised through though tacitly. Michel de Certeau, he talks about the concept of manifest aspects and hidden aspects. Goffman also talks about the concept of dramaturgy on the stage. So you have to see. So what is being manifest is just the tip of the iceberg. In the cyber ecosystem, so many things that we are engaging, including your democracies, are in a state of alienation. What it is and what it should be, there are lots of gaps. So there is room for both change and improvement. History is full of rigid caste system that allowed humans the ability to change, and dictators like Cicero, who had a military system that where you, when you go out of the town, you have to report to the military officer. So the new military regime is coming in the form of automation. Eric from Maslow, they all talk that we are, and the panopticon culture of Jeremy Bentham, political scientists, are here in front of me, so I'm a little bit worried to talk much about them. But yes, that new panopticon and the surveillance system is creating a kind of destabilizing environment where we are getting isolated and alienated from our own selves, from our interpersonal selves, from our societal selves, from our the concept of body cultural capital, what is important and what is not. All is will be operating all at a time, because they are non-human intelligence systems. AI can help in patterning recognition, and and there is a good news that everything is not at stake. Some jobs, including the teaching, I think going to be redundant in the times to come, if they want. If they don't want, then yes, you can continue. But sensory intelligence activities can much better function by the help of AI and data related activities. And the bricolage concept, mainstream products become part of subcultures, and I will not talk much. Yes, I will try to conclude in 30 seconds. What I am here today with you all, that you have to understand that alienation is not a, it is not a product, it is a process. And processes are that you are, moving ahead, and you are also becoming counterproductive of your destination. And you have to be very mindful that what we use for our systems, that we are at least not losing whole of our ground, though everything is not under your control or my control. The things that are operating at a level, I think will be creating a huge, complexities in our social, interpersonal, and other forms of life, which we are already witnessing. That communitarian bonds, kinship bonds, deep rooted, so isolated, meaninglessness, powerlessness, self-interest, estrangement is going to be the benchmark of the times to come. Thank you very much.
We now invite Dr. Neera to the stage to deliver the vote of thanks.
So, good evening, one and all present here. On the behalf of Department of Psychology, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Naveen Kumar for his thought-provoking and enlightening talk on the topic cyber ecosystem and alienation. Sir, your presentation was not only insightful, but very deeply and very relevant in today's perspective with rapidly evolving digital world. Your analysis of how the cyber ecosystem shapes our social connections and contributes to the feeling of alienation, it was really immense. And the way you connected the dots between technology, society, and our mental well-being, it was truly eye-opening. And also, sir, you rightly pointed out the interconnection between trust and the risk. I have been teaching social psychology and applied social psychology in my department. I guess it gives me a new horizon to explore in my lecture classes. So we'll discuss more about this topic, and I'll be connected with you, sir, to discover more about this topic. So, thank you so much, sir. And we hope that this conversation started today will continue and encourage all of us to reflect more on this topic. At the end, I would also like to thank Dr. Ankit Prakash for organizing this thing and our Srijan team. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your thoughtful words of wisdom, which continues to inspire and guide us. Your encouragement and insights are valuable. As we conclude the psychology session, we now transit to our next segment for the day, organized by the Department of Economics.